Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Courtney Grayton and I am a loctician and educator. Over here on my side of YouTube, you will find expert information on caring for your locks. And this video is the third video in our series where I am debunking lock myths that I've seen online. I hear this one so often.
Won't your locks start to break off just with palm roll? But doesn't your hair get weak when you get locks? Doesn't your hair break off when you get locks?
Not all the time. While locks do not cause hair loss, sometimes it is a little more likely for people to experience it if they are not caring for them properly. Sometimes it's a little harder to bounce back from because once you kind of lose some hair around the lock, it can kind of just make the foundation of the lock weak. And you do have to wait a little bit for the hair to grow back and for you to be able to repair that lock or fix it however you're going to fix it. You definitely want to prevent the thinning as much as possible. You want to try to decrease the amount of tension that you're putting on your locks. So styles, make sure that they are not tight, that they are not painful. When I put these things on my head, it was a little tight right here. So what did I do? Immediately loosen it up. I don't want to feel like I have a style in my head. I think so many of us grow up being so used to feeling tension, and especially with locks, you want to decrease that as much as possible. A lot of times you don't even notice the breakage or the thinning as it's happening. Many times people get to the point where it's extreme and now it's like you can't not see it before they really pay attention to what the damage is causing. So the more you can reduce the amount of tension, the more you can reduce the pain, the more you will likely reduce the amount of breakage that you experience. Overall, in general, just getting locks is not going to make you lose your hair. And so many people believe that. So many people do not get locks because they think it's automatically going to thin their hair. And no, not even one type of maintenance or the other. I've heard people say, oh, if you keep getting palm roll for years and years, it's going to thin your hair out. Oh, I have clients who I've retwisted for 3 years, or clients who have come to me and they've already had their locks for 10 plus years, and me palm rolling their hair does not make their hair break. It can be so many different reasons why that happens. I consider myself to have growing hands. Everybody says that, and I definitely palm roll. I do not palm roll with a whole lot of tension, and that's how you prevent the hair loss. So improper care, excessive tension, and definitely just overall neglect is what can cause hair loss. Sometimes the weight of your locks creates tension. Like I mentioned in part 2, if you watch that video, the weight of your locks will cause them to hang lower. Maybe you've had your locks for 9, 10 years and they're now down your back. The weight of them can definitely cause some thinning. I have one client, he's had his locks for a really long time. Because his locks are so long and he has some hereditary male pattern baldness in his family, he's already planning to cut them off because he doesn't want that to happen as soon as it could, you know? Sometimes the weight of your locks being so heavy, if you're already susceptible to that type of breakage or whatever, can make that process happen faster. So you want to definitely be paying attention to that, going to someone who's going to call it out for you and say, okay, I did your hair a couple months ago and it didn't look like this, and now it does. So let's rework what we're going to do. You know, for him, the last couple of years that he's been coming to me, once it gets almost all the way down his back, we'll cut it up to bra strap length. I don't know what to call that on a man. Cut it up to there so that it's just reducing the amount of weight. So that could be also something that you think about and even plan for if you know that you could potentially have those issues. I hope that makes sense. I hope that kind of reframes your thinking if you were a little hesitant to get locks because you thought it would automatically cause some thinning or whatever down the line. I do have another client, and I'll mention her before I close this out. She knew that she would have more thinning because of her family history and everything, and she already had some weaker spots up in here. I told her that we should do the smaller length to accommodate for the thinning that she had, just to give her more of a full look, and so that as they get longer down the line, they're smaller, less weight. Now her hair is getting much longer. It's definitely getting down her back, which is crazy for me to have clients that have been coming to me for years at this point. That will just never get old. But Now that her hair is getting longer, she is noticing just a little bit more tension up here. She hasn't been getting styles, but we're making sure she's watching the amount of tension, whether it's a headband, whether it's a bonnet, whether it's a scarf, kind of pressing on that area. And also, I haven't suggested it to her yet because I don't think that she's gotten to that point. But should we ever get to the point where her hair is starting to break a little bit too much, I will suggest that we trim it a little bit. And that might just be in that section. Maybe she just needs to get a little layer right here that makes it look like it's a bang, like it's supposed to be that way, just to decrease the amount of tension and weight that's on this area. Again, she'll still be able to have her locks and enjoy the journey. She doesn't have to cut them off just because she's having a little bit of thinning, because she already knew that that was going to happen. So there's ways for us to work around it. And the rest of her hair is like extremely healthy. She just has a few up here. We can trim those in a way that, again, looks like a style and all of that, but still preserves the foundation of her locks. So thank you all for watching. I hope this video was just as helpful as the first two. Definitely stay tuned for the next ones in the series. I'm not even sure how long I'm going to go. I guess I'll go until I run out of lock myths, but definitely drop your experiences down in the comments. If you've experienced any hair loss after having locks, what you think was the cause of it, and also if you have very healthy and long locks and have never really experienced a breakage, let us know how you made that happen and, you know, what's working for you. Thank you all so much for being here. I am grateful to have this platform to be able to share this information with you all. And I will see you all in my next video. Have a great night or day, wherever you are.